Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Joseph, the Soigné Baker. Today we're using everybody's favorite stone fruit, the avocado. We're going to make an avocado pineapple cheesecake. It's really simple. I'm sure you're going to love it. So let's get started. So we're going to start first with our ingredient list. It's pretty flexible. I left room in it for if you decide you want to make a bigger cheesecake and even a bigger crust. I tend to go with the smaller crust because I like the cheesecake to be the star. So we're just going to start with our graham cracker crust, and you can post them or you can just let it run for a minute once you've added your sugar. I used brown sugar this time because I wanted it a little sweeter than normal, than white sugar would allow it to be. So we're just going to grind that up. And then we want it to be as finely crushed as possible. We want it to be literally obliterated, if at all possible. And while we add, you're going to see that we're going to add butter to this. But one thing that I don't know what I was thinking. I could have added the butter right into the food processor and let it blitz a little bit more instead of the way that I did it. I used a half a stick of butter and then I just mixed it all together with the fork. But I could have let that stay in the food processor and let the food processor do the work for me, and then I could have just poured it out into the pan and it been ready to go. If that's what you decide to do, then kudos to you. It's just really way simpler than this process that I'm using right here, using a fork. But the results are the same though. The results are the same. So we're going to mix that up, and I've already prepared my pan on the side with some parchment paper, and I also sprayed the edges that I didn't cover with the parchment paper and the parchment paper itself with a little baker's joy, so that I will have no problem at all getting this cheesecake out of the pan once the process is done. And so we're just going to spread this graham cracker crust mixture evenly across the bottom, make sure everything's nice and flat and tight and compact. And then we're going to stick it in the oven for about 10 minutes. And after I bring it out the oven and let it cool, the rest of the time while I'm mixing everything up, I put it in the freezer as well. So it'll be nice and solid and compact, and it'll be able to receive that cheesecake mixture easily without you having to worry about it coming apart and actually mixing in the cheesecake. I've never had that happen, but I don't know, I'm a little paranoid, so that's that. And I did save a little bit for later. For another cheesecake recipe, because I mean it ain't gonna be the last cheesecake I make on earth, so I just put that in a little Ziploc bag, threw it in the freezer, and next time I make a cheesecake it'll be good and ready to go. Alright, so let's get started. Now you see here I have 2 avocados. Just for this recipe I opted to use only 1 avocado. That came out easy. I opted to use 1 avocado, but I will say this: if you want a bigger, taller cheesecake, then I would add the second avocado and maybe even 1 more block of cream cheese. I only used 3 blocks of cream cheese here. But I have one friend who I made this for, and she was like, I didn't really taste the avocado. So maybe 2 avocados is the way to go. Next time I make it, I'm going to use 2 avocados. And like I said, if you want it to be a taller cheesecake, you can make a bigger crust. That would be 2 sleeves of the graham cracker crust. And you can add another block of cream cheese. Now, normally you would start a cheesecake off by creaming the cream cheese alone, letting it get a little soft, but we're adding that avocado right in there, and depending on the ripeness of your avocado, you should be able to squeeze it in there just like that, depending on how soft it is or whatever the case may be. And I made sure not to get any of that skin in there. The skin can be a little bitter. It has value, but just not in this recipe. So as you can see, that avocado, it came right out of there. It came out of there easily, so it was no problem. So we're gonna cream this cream cheese and our avocado together. Now I will tell you this: cream cheese and avocado, they really have a similar texture, almost exactly the same. So it makes it very easy for you to incorporate an avocado into a cream cheese mixture. I mean, it was like just adding another flavor, a flavored bar of cream cheese, avocado flavor. So the texture and the creaminess is very similar. We all love avocado, we all love guacamole, and the one thing we love most about guacamole is its creaminess. Well, it shares that factor with cream cheese. So this was not very hard at all to get to incorporate together. As you can see, it just blended right together so nice and easily, perfectly, seamlessly. It was really easy. And once it gets fully combined, you'll love not only the texture but just the simple beauty of it. I mean, it's a beautiful mixture here. You'll see in just a second. Okay, now we've got it nice and combined. Now look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. It almost resembles ice cream. It's so pretty. And I will tell you this, I could take this right here, just cream cheese, avocado, and that will take your avocado toast to another level. I know everybody loves avocado toast right now. That's the thing. That will take it to another level, just adding a little bit of cream cheese to it. All right, so now we're gonna add our sugar, and I always try to add my sugar or flour or anything like this, a dry ingredient, at a relatively medium to low speed because you don't want it flying all in your face all over the place. And these sugar grains, they'll cut right through that cream cheese mixture, produce a little bit of air, but not too much air, because the cream cheese is not like a cake. It's not going to rise because there's no leavening agent like a baking soda or a baking powder or anything like that. We're just going to let that mix for a while, and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so I had added 4 eggs to this recipe, and we add them just as usual, one at a time. And once they get nice and incorporated, one of them gets incorporated, then you add the other and the other, and so forth and so on. And you just let them get to know each other in the pan, in the bowl, and let it do its thing. So as that's incorporated, as that's getting mixed together, just look at that beautiful green color. I mean, it is something to behold. I mean, this is an avocado pineapple cheesecake, but to me, the avocado is the real star in all of this. And if you have any ideas about any other avocado flavors that you would like to see, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll try and if it makes sense, I'll try and make it happen. But avocado, I love taking something that's normally used in a savory recipe and put it in a sweet recipe, and it turns out just beautiful and immaculate. Now you will see me most of the time in my recipes, my cheesecake recipes especially, using creme fraiche instead of sour cream, that is. And that's because creme fraiche doesn't have that tanginess that sour cream has. Sometimes you want that in a cheesecake, sometimes you don't. I did not want it. Most of the time I don't want it, but I especially didn't want it with this avocado. I wanted it to have the avocado flavor, but I wanted it to be more sweet than tangy, which is why I use creme fraiche, which is just European style cream cheese. They use a different process that removes the tanginess from it. So if you see a recipe that calls for creme fraiche, I meant to say sour cream, if you're baking, you can easily substitute it for creme fraiche, and it'll have the same results. Alright, so we've got everything mixed, everything's good to go, everything's ready to go. Now it's time to scrape down everything, including the paddle. So we're going to scrape down this bowl and even the bottom of the bowl, because a lot of times cream cheese will get stuck at the bottom of that bowl. But at the same time, you don't want to be caught guilty of over mixing your mixture. So here's how you fix that. We're gonna scrape down the bowl, the bottom, the sides, everything. We're not gonna touch that yet, because now we have to add in our pineapple. Now, all my friends from the deep south, you know what time it is with this right here. It's one of those things, if you know, you know. You know about the mason jar, you know about the fruit in it and everything that goes with it. Now, this added an unexpected little kick to this recipe. I was pleasantly surprised. My wife and I both were. She sat there and she looked at me after a couple of bites. She was like, "Did you put some rum in this or something like that?" I was like, "No." And I had to think about it for a minute where I got the pineapple from. So this is another step where I made it a little bit harder on myself than I had to. I could have just thrown this into the food processor as well, and it would have made a nice little puree for me, and it would have made the pineapple actually easier to incorporate throughout the entire cheesecake. You take a little bit of chance when you add in chunks like that. It may be more chunks in this section, more in that section, but if I had to put this in the food processor, which I should have done, I don't know what I was thinking. I will next time. Then that would have made everything even more seamless. It would have made it better. It would have made this whole process easier. I wouldn't have had to chop everything up like this. But that being said, we've got everything chopped up, and I'm definitely saving this for something else. I'm gonna soak some other fruit in there. Y'all will see that again, don't worry. So now we're gonna drop this pineapple in there, and at this point in our recipe, we're just about done. It's ready to go into our pan. All we have to do is mix everything up. Remember that graham cracker crust, I baked it. It's been sitting in the freezer. It's ready to go. Once I get this all stirred up and combined, it'll be good to go. And this is how we're getting that cream cheese off the bottom as well. The whisk is going to do the job for us, and I'm making sure I go down to the bottom to get everything down. Now, don't forget that part. You don't want to neglect that. And now it's ready to go in the oven. Okay, so while that's in the oven, you know I love to tell you all about what I'm wearing. This is one of my new favorite things from Banana Republic. It's a linen safari jacket. I had an unusually cool day a while back, so I said I'm gonna break this out. I'm gonna wear it, and I've only been able to wear it once. But I'll leave the link in the bio for you. It's a beautiful color. My wife has a matching one. I'll tell you all about it. This is the finished product. It looks a little rustic, I must admit. I made a pineapple avocado chutney to go on top. But I promise you, you're gonna love the flavor. You're gonna love the way it tastes. Here's some other videos for y'all to check out. Thank y'all for joining, and keep baking.